It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is the afternoon edition for Thursday, August 4th. I'm James Spann. You know, it's August, so what's it going to be? Hot, humid, and a chance of scattered storms. The placement and the coverage of the storms, the timing, that's all a challenging part of the forecast. So let's go in there and see what we have today. That's the water vapor satellite view across the United States. The main westerlies are up on the Canadian border. And down here, the old popcorn thunderstorms. That's the visible satellite view, about 2 o'clock. A random pattern of scattered storms across the state. Pretty good cluster down in South Mississippi. That was the radar looked at 2:04. Heaviest storm at that time was right on top of Lay Lake on the Coosa River, dropping to the south. Maintain the chance of scattered storms through the evening hours. And it's hot. Low and mid-90s. Those are highs so far. Tuscaloosa, 95. Birmingham, 94. Anniston, 93. Should be back in the middle 90s tomorrow. Low to mid-90s for the weekend and around the nation. If you're looking for cooler air, we might suggest Denver. The Rockies out in the western states, noticeably cooler there. But for the rest of the United States, pretty warm. A little cool pocket with a wedge coming down through parts of the Shenandoah Valley where they're only in the 70s this afternoon. To the west, we have flash flood watches for the desert southwest. It's the monsoon season there. Also flash flood watches for parts of the Carolinas. An excessive heat warning for parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, the Mississippi Delta. And in our state, that's the heat advisory. And again, look, you go from Birmingham over to Anniston and Gadsden. I don't think you notice any difference. But technically, that's where the heat index is expected to reach 105. The counties there in orange. Severe weather possibilities for the rest of today and tonight. We've got the standard slight risk for parts of the Great Lakes. Tomorrow, a marginal risk up in that zone. And on day 3, which is Saturday, a marginal risk for the northeast United States. Rain for the next 5 days, valid through Tuesday morning of next week, about 1 inch for the north. Heavier totals down to the south. In fact, check out that bullseye. Down at Tampa Bay, north of Tampa Bay, that's 8.18 inches there, as this surface low is expected to form over North Florida in coming days. And again, if you got a beach trip to places like Fort Walton and Panama City and Gulf Shores, don't panic when you see the red shades down there. That you'll have a pretty decent amount of sun, but of course, a passing storm from time to time. I'll show you the 5-day numbers. This is going out to Thursday of next week, and it's got 9.93 in that spot north of Tampa Bay. You don't see rain that heavy that often unless there's a tropical storm involved there. Speaking of the tropics, Earl is inland and dissipating, moving into southern Mexico this afternoon. Rest of the Atlantic Basin is fairly quiet. Still watching the ghost of what was Invest 96 that's coming through the Leeward Islands. Looks like it might be trying to make a comeback, but generally speaking, things pretty quiet across the rest of the Atlantic Basin. So here we go, model fans, the GFS, the 12Z run, valid tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Storm track up north, ridging down here, and you know the deal. Hot, humid, maybe a storm. The air aloft might be a little warmer tomorrow. Storms could be pretty isolated. Mid-90s are likely. In fact, the NAM is up to 97 tomorrow for Birmingham. For the weekend, we've seen just guidance all over the board here. This is Saturday, and again, no doubt we'll have scattered storms about. This is suggesting they could be fairly scattered with low to mid-90s, and the same thing on Sunday. We note that surface low forming around Augusta, Georgia. We'll go to Monday. That low drifts to the southwest, and that could be the feature that maybe will enhance the storm coverage down toward Tampa Bay. But again, for Alabama, I just don't see any reason to vary off the persistence map here. There will be day-to-day variations in the placement and coverage of storms. You just can't identify the boundaries that would be involved so far in advance. This is Tuesday at broad surface lows north of Mobile. Wednesday, it kind of opens up. And a week from today, Thursday the 11th, 594 rings to the east and west. A little weakness here, so again, scattered showers and storms. So toward the middle of next week, there might be a little bump in the number of storms. This is the end of the forecast period, Sunday, August 14th, 594 heat ring, hot, humid, maybe a storm. I promise we'll break out of this in September. Numbers for the next 15 days. You can see highs maybe dropping into the upper 80s Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Other than that, standard stuff. Highs and the 90s and lows in the 70s. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes in the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you can't catch us this evening on the live stream or the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.